Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. The Phoenix Suns have a very new looking roster around Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Bradley Beal. This video is going to dive into the new supporting cast, and we're going to start off with Jordan Goodwin, who is part of the Bradley Beal deal to Phoenix. Jordan Goodwin offers a lot of things on both sides of the ball. You can see his numbers here from his last season. He's pretty efficient shooting. He's able to do a lot of things both on and off the ball. But let's dive into his film and see what potential impact he can bring to the Valley. Starting things off by talking about his offensive game, he's a strong attacker. You can see in these clips, he's strong with the ball in his hands. He's great at getting downhill, being physical on these drives. Very strong going to his right most of the time, but he's capable of going to his left, like here in this last clip. He's a really good athlete. He's capable and able to finish with either hand through contact. He's crafty around the rim in terms of using his length above and around defenders, and he's also able to finish above the rim with authority when he has the opportunity. Just an all-around really good attacker, finisher, able to do both with the ball in his hands and create angles off the bounce, or moving off the ball, offensive rebounding, doing it in the little ways that create success. And I think that he can be a screen and diver. He can be a guy slashing off the ball for Phoenix. He can do a lot of different things, plug a lot of holes, and also create for himself with the ball in his hands. Next, let's talk about his playmaking. He's a very underrated passer. I think that he has a solid ability to pass the ball. He had a 2.95 assist to turnover ratio last year in Washington. He just makes the right play. He has a great feel and IQ for the game. He's solid in the pick and roll. He's very patient. He scans the floor, makes the right play every time. His vision's incredible. And overall, just his ability to pass the ball. He can pass with either hand, pass in different angles, pass different ways. Just overall, a really good playmaker with the ball in his hands, and somebody Phoenix can trust to give him the rock and allow him to make plays and take pressure off of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. And lastly, in terms of the offense, we got to talk about his shooting ability. The jump shot is quite smooth. You can see he does a good job when his feet are down. He elevates well. It flows well from the ground up. In terms of the numbers, he shot 32.2% from three, 34.9% on catch and shoot, and 46.5% on open threes. He can be a capable spacer around the likes of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and I think that this will be a part of his game that he has to work on this summer to improve. But overall, the offensive end of the floor, he'll be able to fit right in, plug in different areas of the floor, and just be an impactful guy around the stars that Phoenix has assembled in the Valley. But where Jordan Goodwin is going to be most successful and most impactful is at the defensive end. Highly active, highly aware, great positionally. He has phenomenal physical tools, and he just has a tenacity on the ball. In ISO, he held opponents to 36% shooting. You can see in these clips when he's guarding one-on-one, when he's on an island, he's making plays happen. He uses his length. He uses his athleticism to, if he does get beat, to make a play from behind or to fight to get back in front. He is great at just taking these matchups head on, being physical, being aggressive, being active, forcing turnovers, being a pest at the point of attack, and making it very difficult for ball handlers to get to where they want to get and get the looks that they want to look. He's also versatile, being able to guard inside, outside, different matchups, on different nights. He showed great versatility, and then off the ball, he was positionally aware. He was very sound in terms of where he put himself on the floor. He was good at contesting without fouling. He just did a great job at being an all-around both individual and team defender last year in Washington. I think that the defensive end of the floor in Phoenix will be a massive plus, and he'll be a major guy that they need on the floor consistently. Next, let's talk about Chimezie Metu that came over from Sacramento in free agency. Looking at his numbers first, nothing really stands out except the highly efficient shooting, the rebounding. He blocked nearly a shot per game, was highly active. So now let's look at the film and see how it can impact for Phoenix. First things first, it got to be the finishing ability at the offensive end of the floor. He's great at attacking off the bounce. He moves off the ball really well, runs the break phenomenally. He's a great athlete. He's quick. He's strong. He's able to get up and above the rim. In terms of having the ball in his hands, he's a capable ball handler, especially at his position, playing the 4 or 5 spot. He's a lob threat. He has great hands. He does a good job at understanding where to position himself, whether he has the ball in his hands to go make a play for others, or if he's off the ball, finding cracks for offensive rebounds, finding cracks on the porch to just catch and finish, just doing what he needs to do to be as successful as possible. I think that Sacramento's offensive system is going to be pretty similar to what Phoenix has to do with their personnel, But to finish things off with numbers, he shot 75% at the rim, just being highly efficient with the looks he was getting around there and being highly impactful as just an efficient go-to offensive threat that didn't make too many mistakes and stayed in his lane. Next, we got to talk about the defense. He's very solid. His size, length, and strength is disruptive, and you can see that when he's guarding the point of attack, he has the abilities to do a good job one-on-one. Guarding tough matchups, switching out and guarding guards. He just does a good job overall at being solid. Yes, he has room to grow as an individual defender. He gets beat sometimes laterally, but at the end of the day, I think he has the raw tools to be very good at this end of the floor. And I think Phoenix, he'll have the opportunities to step in and be a highly impactful guy, both from an individual and team standpoint. To talk more about the team part of defense, you can see that he has a pretty good feel about when he should switch, how to be in coverages, how to play different areas of the floor. But overall, I think that the versatility, the physical tools will allow him to be impactful in a variety of situations, whether he's switching, whether he's playing the drop, whether he's showing and getting back, just being able to offer Phoenix a lot of different options at the defensive end of the floor. The next new face in Phoenix we're going to talk about is Drew Eubanks, who came over in free agency from Portland. Last year, he was very solid as a backup five-man, 6.6 points, 5.4 rebounds, 1.3 blocks a game, highly efficient shooting. Now let's dive into his game a little bit and see what he can do for the Suns. First, let's talk about what he can bring scoring-wise. He's a really high-quality finisher, 75.4% around the rim. He has great touch in the paint. He's able to finish in a variety of ways. He's an underrated athlete. You can see in this clip here, handling it himself, getting downhill, past the defender, and finishing at the rim with authority. He moves really well, whether he has the ball or doesn't have the ball. He has just variety in his offensive attack. He can create off the bounce, create in the post. He has great footwork. He's able to finish with either hand. He has the athleticism to finish above the rim. He's also pretty strong at finishing through contact. And I just think that the way he's able to attack also with the dribble off the pop or in elbow situations definitely provides a good level of variety to his offensive game and just something that they can go to play off of. These last two clips, we get examples of him finishing on the dive, but you can just see overall a great feel and understanding to make himself available, catch, and finish these plays consistently. Next, let's talk about his playmaking ability. When he has the ball in his hands, he's not a traditional perimeter-style playmaker where he's passing the ball, but he's great in DHOs. You can see he has a great feel for the game. He's a really good screener to free guys up. Just the ability to handle the ball, get the ball to the right spot at the right time, be able to make the live reads in DHOs, and then being able to pop his feet, hit a defender to free up his teammate, and just be in the right spots at the right times and making the team plays happen consistently. He's a good passer for his position, definitely, but a lot of the plays he makes are out of the DHOs, and he's an active initiator of offense with the ball in his hands. He does a good job at reading the defense, allowing his teammates to play off of him. I think that he can provide a different offensive level to the Phoenix Suns next season. And then to wrap things up, let's talk about the defensive end. You saw that first play there. He came in with a highly active shot block. For him as a defender, it comes with energy, activity, and just a feel for the game of basketball. He's willing to give multiple efforts. He flies around on the help side. He just puts himself in the right spot to make plays happen, whether he's dropping at the rim, whether he's rotating out to shooters. Here in this clip, you can see him switching onto the ball, and then once the ball moves, he moves positionally well and is able to put himself in the right spot to contest, first contain the ball, and then help on a drive, and then get out and contest the three. Just giving multiple efforts like that is a winning type of player and a guy that you would want on your team. Here you see him in drop coverage, and then he forces a turnover with his activity. Overall, he is just going to go out there and give it his all as a defender. He might not be the best laterally, but he's going to try. At the end of the day, his underrated athleticism is going to make him an okay to good defender any given night. He's not going to be a minus guy at this end of the floor, whether it's team or individual based, but he's going to go out there, guard his yard, fly around, be very active and physical, and just set the tone with his energy and effort at this end of the floor. The next guy we're going to talk about is Yuta Watanabe that came over from the Brooklyn Nets. He is a big-time shooter. You can see with his numbers here, he shot 44.4% from three. Just an efficient knockdown shooter with great length and size. But let's dive into the film and see what he's bringing to the Valley. We already said he's a great shooter, but here's more about his shooting ability. He shot 44.6 from three, he shot 46.2 on catch and shoot, and he shot 51.5 on open threes. In spot-up situations, he had 1.235 point per possession on 46% from the field. He is just elite at this, and another number for you, he shot 52% from the corners. You can see he does a great job at getting his feet down. He has a really quick release for being the size that he is at 6'6", 6'7", with great length. He's able to get it down, get it up, has a high release, great arc on the ball, great touch on the ball, and he does a good job at moving off of it, putting himself in open cracks on the perimeter to knock it down consistently off of his teammates. Whether he was playing with Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving last year, or if he was playing with Cam Thomas at the point guard, he did a good job at moving off the ball, putting himself in position to be successful in terms of being in the shooting spot, and he's able to shoot in a variety of ways, whether he's on the move, in transition, in spot-up situations, just being an all-around great shooter. And this is a guy that could play off of Booker, Durant, Beal, Ayton, just an all-around elite shooter, and I'm excited to see him play for the Phoenix Suns. At the defensive end of the floor, he's not going to kill you. He's going to give you his all. He has size and length. He can move pretty well. He's not a great defender by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see in these clips that effort and energy he brings to the defensive end consistently is a major part of why he was able to stay on the floor with the likes of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving for the first half of last season. And then toward the back half of last year, injuries hurt him a little bit, and he got out of the rotation with the trades and the wings that they added. But overall, you can see when he was on the floor, he tried his butt off to be an impactful defender, whether it was in team situations, rotating, staying in front, containing the ball, guarding his yard, or if he was off the ball. One thing about the defensive end of the floor for him is that he is very lengthy. He has the length and size to disrupt guys, whether it's contesting threes on the perimeter and taking shooters out of rhythm, or if it's at the point of attack, being able to cover a lot of space with his length, contest shots without fouling, and just disrupt shooters and attackers at the rim. Just being a guy that could play a lot of different guys, but you're not going to put him on the top matchup for the other team. Just a guy that's going to give you his all and make the right plays consistently. Last but not least, we got Bates-Diop from the San Antonio Spurs signing with the Suns in free agency. Last year, he had a terrific season, not seen through his numbers, but you can see overall highly efficient scoring, but he did a lot of things in San Antonio, and he has the potential to impact highly for the Suns. First things first, let's talk about the shooting. As a shooter, he was able to shoot 40.6% on catch and shoot. I think that he has a great release and great flow on his shot when his feet are down, regardless of whether he's on the move in transition or if he's standstill, catch and shoot. He gets his feet down, he flows from the ground up, has an incredible release. I love how it's so high and he's able to get great arc and touch on the ball with his length and size. And it's really hard to contest his shot because of how big he is and how high the release is. At the end of the day, the Suns need spacing around their stars, and I think he's going to be easily able to plug in and impact with his spacing to make defenses stretch and not be able to have the help side necessary to slow down the offensive threats of Durant, Booker, Beal. Next, let's talk about his attacking ability. He shot 60.8% at the rim. In spot-up situations, this includes the catch and shoots and the attacks off of spot-ups. He had 1.148 point per possession on 58.8 effective field goal percentage. Just a highly efficient, smart player in these spots where he'll be in a lot of these in Phoenix playing off of the stars, but at the end of the day, to talk about his finishing and attacking, he's strong off the bounce. He's able to go either way. He's really good athleticism, really good length to finish in a variety of ways. He can finish with either hand. He's quick to the rim. You can see in a lot of these finishes, he might not get above the rim all the time, but the way he gets the ball up on the glass quick to beat the help side or beat the defender in general is really good. He's strong at fighting through contact. He's able to finish with either hand. Just an all-around really good guy in the paint to go and be efficient in these spots, be able to create angles off the bounce, and be able to score just in a variety of ways in the paint, whether he has the ball in his hands or he's playing off of guys. And then to go to the defensive end of the floor, he is disruptive with his size, length, and strength. You can see that he takes on a lot of these matchups head on very well. Just being physical, being in the space of the offensive player, willing to commit himself to slowing down the attack on the bounce, regardless if it's a star or just an attacking wing perimeter player. And he's also able to guard a variety of guys, whether you can see him matched up with a Watford, or he's able to switch out to the perimeter, or guard a Karl Anthony Towns. Just the variety of guys he's matched up with on a night-to-night basis shows his versatility as a defender and his impactfulness on that individual level. With his length and size too, and athletic ability, he's able to cover a lot of space quick and be really good in the help side. There, you saw him run out to Chris Paul, contest, and force him to make a play off the bounce. Here you see him in drop coverage, contesting the shot, making it difficult for the driver. Just being a highly impactful guy in a variety of spots defensively. The Phoenix Suns got a whole new look roster, and from Goodwin to Metu to Watanabe to Bates-Diop to Eubanks, all these guys could be highly impactful, and I'm excited to see how this roster shakes out in real time. I hope you guys learned something about the Suns and their new look roster. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.